Welcome to the American Heart Association, Maine's 14th annual. Welcome to the American Heart Association, Maine's 14th annual Go Red for Women Luncheon, nationally sponsored by CVS Health, a $25 million supporter of Go Red for Women since 2017, and locally presented by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, our Maine Goes Red sponsor. A heartfelt thank you to these Maine companies for their additional support. Maine Health, presenting sponsor. Hannaford Supermarkets, Healthy Eating. Spectrum Healthcare Partners, Survivor Search. Spinnaker Trust, Fast Sponsor. Morgan Stanley Go Red for Women Panel Discussion. Cross Employee Benefits, Honoree Videos. Wex and Unum, STEM Goes Red. Memic CPR and AED Awareness. Support has also been supplied by these companies. And today's media sponsors are Channel 8 WMTW, 1019 POR, Maine Biz. And now your host for today, from Channel 8 WMTW, anchor Kathleen Jordan.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Welcome as we unite in the battle against heart disease and stroke with Maine's live 2021 Go Red for Women Luncheon. Today, we celebrate our survivors, honorees, and all of you who have endured a pandemic year but have still found it in your heart to support the Go Red mission. For 14 years, Mainers who have attended this lunch, whether in person or on a computer screen, have learned about the risks of heart disease and stroke, and that knowledge has helped to save lives. I hope you had a chance to watch the video from Hannaford nutritionist April Byron this week. That should have been emailed to you so you can have your snacks prepared for this hour and enjoy them with us. April also provided important tips about healthy snack options, which hasn't been the easiest for many of us during this pandemic. So thank you to Hannaford for encouraging all Mainers to eat healthy and take care of our hearts. By now, most of us have become accustomed to the format of digital events just like this one. The chat box that we have come to know so well is available now and will be used for bidding during our live auction. So, to maximize your viewing pleasure this afternoon, here are some quick tips. Type your name into the box. This will really come in handy for bidding during the live auction, so you'll want your name there. Click to accept the terms of service and privacy policy, then click join. Type a brief message to let us know you're here and say hi, and make sure that you've configured the chat box properly. Now minimize the chat box so that way it doesn't interfere with the video window. And lastly, click this little icon in the bottom of the video window, then you should be all set. And speaking of the auction, we have a stellar online auction with vacation getaways and gift cards to breweries and restaurants. Local companies are supporting the Go Red mission with their donations, so support them and the American Heart Association by bidding high, often, and before the auction closes tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's the most important. Check the chat box for a link to this auction, and in a few minutes, Blake Hayes from Coast 93.1 will be back to MC that live auction. Someone watching today will win an amazing week-long getaway up to camp at Grand Lake Stream, the perfect getaway for the girls' getaway, a fly fishing adventure, family time, or just by yourself, because sometimes that's needed too. You'll also have the opportunity to support the Go Red mission's cardiovascular research initiatives by texting 41444 with the keyword Go Red Maine that you see right here. You can make a donation during this hour and actually see your support on the screen later in the program. Today is all about celebrating and offering thanks. The work of the association and the mission of Go Red for Women would not be possible without our sponsors. So thank you to companies like Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. More lives are being saved, and that is something to celebrate. Now, please welcome Harvard Pilgrim's Vice President of Maine, Bill Whitmore.
My name is Bill Whitmore, and I lead Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's team here in Maine. For more than 10 years, we have been the statewide sponsor of the American Heart Association's Maine Goes Red Luncheon. Thank you for joining us again today. While cardiovascular disease is declining in women, it still remains the #1 killer. And a recent study by the Heart Association found that younger generations of women, including Gen Z and millennials, are less likely able to identify the warning signs of cardiovascular disease and aware it is their greatest health threat. As a father of a daughter in her mid-20s and someone who leads a team with many women in that age bracket, these findings are very alarming. After this event, I challenge each of you to have a conversation with a loved one or colleague to explain the seriousness of this disease. Rest assured, I've had this conversation with my daughter, and while admittedly my daughter does not listen to everything I have to tell her, I'm pretty confident that she listened into this conversation. We hope you enjoy this year's programming, and when it's safe to do so, I look forward to seeing all of you in person. Every year I leave this meeting learning something new to help save someone's life. Thank you.
And thank you, Bill, for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate both your support of Go Red for Women in Maine and your insights. And later in this program, we'll hold a panel discussion featuring 3 area physicians who will help women of all ages learn the warning signs of heart disease and stroke and how to avoid this #1 health threat. But now we do want to pause for a moment and thank our frontline and essential workers who have supported us during these past 12 months. It has been a difficult year for many of us, so we do need to remind ourselves to take a wellness break for our bodies and our minds. Northern Light Mercy Hospital is the luncheon's wellness break sponsor and wants to encourage everyone to take a deep breath and pause during your day for your heart health. So let's do that now wherever you are. Breathe in, breathe out. We got that. A good reminder for all of us, even after today. Well, many of you have been touched by cardiovascular disease, and all of us have had our lives changed by COVID-19. Thank you again to all of those working in healthcare whose lives are forever changed. Your dedication is applauded by all. It's encouraging to know that during the past 12 months, the association has committed $2.5 million to COVID-19 research, developed an online registry for hospitals to capture clinical data, vitals, and cardiac biomarkers in COVID patients to track outcomes and provide better care now and for future cardiac care. Produced podcasts and videos that let medical staff save more lives by sharing up-to-date information about the vascular impact of COVID-19, and focused on advocacy efforts to help combat health inequities. This is work that our sponsors and the hundreds of you that are watching right now have helped to make a reality, so thank you. We do need to celebrate today, and indeed we will, including presenting our honorees, Robin Hodgkin of Morgan Stanley and Rich Peterson of Maine Health, hearing from our survivor speaker, Monica Salamoni, and introducing our 2021 Go Red Survivor ambassadors, Christine Gifford and Jen Hill, whose stories will inspire you and help to save lives. This year, we had an energetic, motivated, and compassionate executive who was the chair of this life-saving campaign. So please welcome Amanda Rand, president of Spinnaker Trust, our Fast Warning Sign sponsor.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Rand and I'm excited to welcome you to this year's Go Red for Women virtual luncheon. I was honored to be the chair of this year's event, and I want to start by thanking the members of the executive leadership team. These are professionals in the business community that were so instrumental in helping me with this year's event. It was a challenging year to be raising money, as you all know, and their dedication and perseverance throughout the year was truly inspiring. Over the past year, as chair, I've been able to learn a lot about what the American Heart Association does in an ordinary year. But this year, the work they were doing regarding COVID and both the long-term and short-term effects and the research that they were putting out was really inspiring. So the mission of the AHA is more important than ever this year. So why is this so important to me? Why did I agree to chair a major fundraising event in the midst of a pandemic? It's because I'm a proud stroke survivor myself. About 9 years ago, after the birth of my third child, she was actually about 2 weeks old, I suffered a stroke. I had just returned from her 2-week wellness checkup, handed her to my husband, and fortunately he was there and noticed that my face was drooping and my speech was slurred. And he called 911 right away. They believe my stroke resulted from a dissected carotid artery suffered during childbirth. Thankfully, I was brought to Maine Med, and they were taking part in some new experimental procedures that were partially funded by the American Heart Association that truly saved my life. They were able to remove the clot, and I had a full recovery. But I know that not everybody is as lucky as I am. In fact, stroke is one of the leading causes of disabilities in the United States. So, my personal mission for this year was to help everybody learn the acronym FAST so that they could be aware of the signs and symptoms of stroke awareness and help others get help like I did. So, F, is there facial drooping? A, is there arm weakness? S, is the speech slurred? And if any of those are true, T, it's time to call 911. So I want to thank you all for being here, for being part of this event. I want to thank the business community and the individual donors for their support for the mission of the AHA. I also want to congratulate this year's Crystal Heart Award winners, Rich Peterson and Robin Hodgkin. They have done so much for this greater Portland community over the course of their careers, but their support of the American Heart Association is especially exemplary, and we want to congratulate them and celebrate them today. So thank you for joining us, thank you for being a part of this event, and thank you for joining me in helping support the AHA.
And thank you, Amanda, for sharing your story and for all of the work that you have done this past year. As we unite to support the Go Red mission, we are fortunate to have passionate and dedicated donors. They include Friends of Heart, Circle of Red, and Red Rose supporters. And a special thank you today to Chris Emmons for championing this year's successful Circle of Red campaign. And remember, wherever you are today, you too can make a donation at any time during this digital luncheon by texting 41444 with the keyword Go Red Maine. You see that right at the bottom of your screen. Wherever you are, very easy to make a donation. Any donation is a big one, especially for this cause. Well, now I would like to welcome a longstanding Maine supporter of the association, Spectrum Healthcare Partners. David Landry, Spectrum CEO, will introduce this year's official Go Red ambassadors.
Spectrum Healthcare Partners is honored to once again sponsor the Go Red for Women Survivor Search. This past year has been difficult for all Mainers, and especially for those affected by heart disease and stroke. We acknowledge these challenges and support our many survivors and what they have faced. The Go Red for Women mission reaches hundreds of women throughout the state of Maine to help educate and save more lives. This year, we had the inspiring task of narrowing down the search to 2 amazing survivors who will now serve as the official 2021 Go Red for Women spokeswoman. I am pleased to present them in their stories.
I started having symptoms. I had a severe headache.
My pulse was starting to be pretty high, and I wouldn't feel that necessarily. Just wanted to go and lay down. Something is not right. I feel terrible. I'm agitated. Something is definitely wrong.
And it wasn't normal. It wasn't the normal sickness that you would feel. But my family knew that because I was so sick that they had to call 911 right away.
I still can't completely describe it, but we need to go to the ER because now at this point I am just scared.
My strokes had no known cause. I was taken by surprise, and that makes up about 20% of strokes.
I was diagnosed with an 80% blockage in my my LAD, which is my left anterior descending artery, and it was actually caused by a rare plaque versus the type of common plaques that other people might experience with heart disease.
If someone saw a loved one in the same situation that I was in, I was incapacitated. I really didn't know what was going on, but it's really important that your family knows to call 911 and get help right away. And because my family did, I'm here today.
Although my condition is really rare, all the symptoms leading up to it and when I had my heart attack are very common and typical for women.
I am a survivor, and by sharing my story with others, I can help them. And being part of research can help other people. The more we learn, the more we can help save lives.
I am okay. I'm seeing my cardiologist regularly. I'm living a healthy lifestyle. I have some medications that are preventative that I'm all on now, so that has been part of my recovery.
Watch me go red.
Watch me go red.
Thank you, Christine and Jen, for sharing your stories. I know a lot of us can take away a lot from hearing from them, so thank you to both of those amazing women. Well, now we do want to have some fun. It's time for our live auction sponsored by Community Health Options with Blake Hayes of Coast 93.1 here to take your bids. If you do plan to bid, make sure that you sign into the chat box we were talking about so that way we can see your bids, and the winner from today will be contacted by an American Heart Association staff member after today's luncheon. Blake, it is so good to see you today. This is the fun part. If you're involved, I know it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna make this fun, and it is personal for me. I lost my partner. It'll be 2 years ago in April to aortic dissection, which of course I didn't know anything about at the time. And so if you have lost someone to something involving heart or stroke, today might be one of those days where you get unexpectedly a little bit more emotional. I mean, I know that stuff happens to me, and the two things that I've learned about grief are you can't plan for those moments, and you just got to let them happen, and you know, sometimes it feels good. But it's also okay to enjoy this and have fun, and that's what we're going to do. So let me show you what we're auctioning off. This is a great up-to-camp stay at Grand Lake Stream, an area great for quiet relaxation, ATVing, fly fishing. You don't have to do any of that except the relaxation part, unless you thrive on not relaxing. That's fine too. Maybe bring a glass of wine. It could be a girls' getaway. It could be something with friends. Maybe you just want to escape your family and do it by yourself. That's fine too, however you want to enjoy it. It's 3-bedroom queen beds in a 4-season house. And even though we're calling this an up-to-camp getaway, we should clarify there is heat, there is air conditioning. This is like fancy camp. This is more like lake house than what we think of when we think of Maine camp. And it's close to Canada, so if you're not relaxing enough and you want to zip up to our northern friends and the border is open by then sure, go ahead and do that. We're going to start the bidding at $500. Now, the way this works is I can see the chat box right here, and you're going to enter your bid right in there, so I'll see your name. And then, oh, Ginger's very excited. Ginger just bid 500. She's like, wow. So enter your bid, and there's a little bit of a lag, okay? So I'm going to try to keep up with you, but as soon as you want to bid or up the bid, put it in, and then we're also going to close with a few extra seconds. So instead of like the typical going once, going twice, sold, we'll give you like 9 or 10 likely painful seconds to enter those final bids, okay? And yes, like Brenda said, bid right there. Wow, okay, Susan's going to start us off with $2,000. $2,000 for Susan. Anyone else? Let's go to $2,250. Why not? $2,250. Susan came out strong. You know, Susan, I don't want to be demeaning Susan, but the way this works is you could have gotten this for 500. You could have gotten this for 500, and instead you started at 2,000. But I love how supportive and enthusiastic you are. Anyone want to outbid Susan? Let's do 2,100. 2,100. Just enter in the chat box. And again, this can be for whatever you want. Did I mention 3 queen beds? 2,500. Thank you, Rich. Anyone else want to bid? How about 2,750? Come on, Susan. Let's go, Susan. 2,750. This is like, oh, there we go. Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's go up to 3,000 for the Grand Lake Stream Getaway. Oh, and I should mention there's a lot of space in the driveway, too, if you do want to bring your ATVs and your trailers. And if you want to bring a boat, if you want to trailer a boat up there, there is a dock. Thank you, Rich. 3,000. I love Jennifer's like, I'm getting this at 2,750. Rich is at 3,000. 3,250. Anybody? 3,250 bucks. There is someone who will give you, one of the locals is going to do a private tour on a 26 pontoon boat one of the days. So you can see the whole area, which will be pretty cool. So you can bring your boat, but if you don't have a boat, you'll still get to get out on the water. Yeah, there's a little lag. There's a little lag. Anyone want to go 3,250? 3,250. Rich at 3,000. Going once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.75, 1.5. If someone has really slow internet, and 3,250, sold to Rich. Yay, Rich. Enjoy that. Have a lot of fun, and I'll throw it back to you.
Wow, that's the auction of the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
A land without COVID.
A land without
Yes.
COVID.
Hope is on the horizon.
Yes, it is. Blake, thank you so much, and congratulations to the winner today. Enjoy that. Thank you to Community Health Options for your support as this live auction sponsor. And of course, again, thanks to Blake. He does an amazing job. And thank you to everyone that put in their bid today. That is really important that you all took part in that, so thank you. Well, next, a special woman who understands why the Go Red for Women mission is so crucial. Monica Salamoni was a Go Red ambassador in 2017, and now she's helping other heart patients in her work at Maine Medical Center's Cath Lab. So please welcome our 2021 Open Your Heart Survivor speaker, Monica Salamoni. Hi, Monica.
Hi there. Good afternoon. I am a 38-year-old heart survivor, and I'm so honored to be here today to be able to share my story with you. 10 years ago, I was a healthy, expectant mom about to give birth to my second baby. My husband, Chris, and I were excited to add to our family and that this pregnancy had gone so well. We knew our baby boy would be delivered early, and we knew that there could be possible complications with him. These were things that we were preparing ourselves for. My water broke before a planned cesarean, so we headed to Maine Medical Center knowing he would be joining us that day. A C-section wasn't something I'd wanted, but after reviewing extensive medical data, going through many tests, and working closely with our OB/GYN from Maine Med's maternal fetal medicine, we knew it was the choice that was safest for our baby. And on October 17th, our sweet Mr. Logan officially joined and completed our family. I never felt great after the C-section. I was nauseous, but attributed it to the pain medicine. When I got home, I still didn't feel well, but I thought it was from the surgery and the medicines, and I pushed it all aside. I was just so happy to be back in the comfort of our home with all of my boys. After a couple of weeks, I was still nauseous and really tired. I thought it was the time of year, having lots of visitors, or maybe I'd picked up a flu bug. And as far as exhaustion, I knew it was just part of the newborn baby gig, so I kept pushing through, and I began to feel a little bit better. On November 4th, I had had a postpartum visit at my OB's office to get checked, have my site checked. I brought Logan with me, and we had a great visit, and everything was fine. My blood pressure was normal, the baby was good, and I was still really, really tired, but that was to be expected. I'd even mentioned that maybe I'd picked up a bit of a viral bug, but was feeling better. We got the green light, and we headed out to go visit my coworkers. Our visit with them was short but sweet, with a few of them even mentioning, "Geez, you look tired." Thanks, guys. And when I got home, my husband and toddler were both down for a nap, so I nursed the baby and we decided we should take a nap too. I was totally wiped out from the day. When I woke up, I was surprised that my husband was still there. I'd expected him to wake me up on his way out to class. He was in school at the time, but he decided to stay home and help me with the kids so I could catch up on some sleep. He knew how exhausted I had been. We started talking about dinner when I began feeling very nauseous, and I thought, oh boy, this virus is back. I ran to the bathroom thinking I was going to get sick. I knew I had a toddler on my heels, and the last thing I remember was trying to redirect him because I didn't want him to see me. Chris said it sounded like I was talking in slow motion at that point. He saw me collapse on the floor. As he ran over, I was turning blue, so he scrambled to call 911. I can't imagine how scared he was as he and our 2 children waited for the ambulance. I was rushed to the emergency department at Southern Maine Medical Center in Biddeford. It was here that they intubated me and performed an echocardiogram and saw that I needed to be rushed to Maine Medical Center. Dr. Michael Schmidt was in charge of my care. He spoke to Chris and urged him to ride with me in the ambulance to Maine Med. They didn't think that I'd survive the ride. Chris had left the kids to the neighbors, and he knew I'd want them to check on my children and make sure that they were okay. They are and always will be my why, even before I began using that term. At Maine Medical Center, Dr. Buchanan and his team were ready and waiting. I was unstable, but in great hands. The reason I had not been feeling well was because of an acute type A aortic dissection, which means that my aorta had begun to split and would be life-threatening if it wasn't treated quickly. Luckily, I received help immediately. From the second my husband called rescue to the care I received at SMHC and the teamwork and collaborative effort between the staff at both Southern Maine and Maine Medical Centers. Those are the reasons I am here today. When I woke up, I was alone in a hospital bed and I was unable to speak. Machines were beeping and I was utterly confused. My husband and family rushed in with excitement, having no memory of what had happened. My emotions were combined helplessness and happiness. Everyone around me was so happy. And slowly I began to learn what had happened and how lucky I was. We are still unsure why this happened. There were so many possible factors in my story that any one of them or all of them together may have played a part. Though my situation was slightly unusual because I was 28 and I was in good health, there are things that we should be aware of and seek medical attention no matter what. I never thought I needed to worry about my health and have been focusing only on our baby. The extreme exhaustion and nausea were warning signs. Now I know that there are more possible dangers during and after pregnancy, and I want others to be more aware. One thing that doesn't get discussed is the mental and emotional toll that life-changing surgery or a health event can have on a patient as well as their families and loved ones. From the time I collapsed until about 3 days later, I don't remember anything about the surgery or the mechanical valve. During that time, my loved ones carried all of the worry. They coordinated the care for my children. They took care of things so that my husband, Chris, could focus on me. In the days, weeks, and months afterwards, they all pitched in and helped in every way possible. Though I am so grateful for every bit, I felt so helpless, I felt so guilty and sad, and I buried all of that. I put on a happy and brave face because I didn't want to burden them any further. Then, 5 years ago, I was urged to join the American Heart Association and become a spokeswoman. With 5 other survivors, I told my untold story. Collectively, we all shared our adventures and we cried together. It was then that I finally felt a sense of relief. This is where I had found that last bit of healing that I needed. It was a place I found where others understood what I'd been through and where there was no judgment. I felt part of something bigger and I could help others. Since then, I have become a cardiac cath lab technician and I love what I do, helping others when they are in need of help for their hearts. My journey wasn't what I would have ever expected, but I'm where I need to be, and my heart beats strong with the love of a work that I love to do. The last year has been incredibly challenging for everyone, but I'm hoping that this year we can start things off on a positive note and come together to support such an amazing organization that has brought us all here this afternoon. Today, I live fierce so I can share my story and I can help bring more awareness to other women and their loved ones. My hope in telling you my story is to educate others and to help raise funds. I just celebrated my 10th Heartiversary this year, so my goal today is to raise $10,000. I know it's ambitious, but any amount you're able to donate is so incredibly valuable and so very appreciated. Before I even knew about the American Heart Association, they were raising funds to do vital research that helped save me and many, many others. They continue to do groundbreaking research so that more and more of our loved ones can lead healthier lives. Funds raised today will continue to assist hospital programs and the education that affect so many. I share my story today to help others listen to their hearts, to speak up if you don't feel well, to call 911 immediately, to make a difference, and to save other young women so that they can be around and watch their children grow up. Thank you so very much for joining us today. Hope you're all having a heart-healthy year.
Absolutely, Monica, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and thank you for the work that you do in the healthcare field as well. As Monica mentioned, we need your support to continue funding research, education, and assisting hospitals in realizing successful outcomes just like Monica's. We ask you to donate by texting the number 41444 and then type the keyword you see at the bottom of your screen, Go Red Maine. You'll receive a link to make your donation. No donation is too small. All donations are appreciated. And Monica, one thing that we did want to talk about that you mentioned in your story, we're so grateful that you are here, especially for your kids. Your husband was really critical in getting you the care that you needed in the moments that you needed it. What can you tell people watching today who may face that themselves or with a loved one? How can you be prepared?
I think it's important to listen to your body and to pay attention and to listen to signs and symptoms that you may see in your loved ones. And I think it's very critical that people learn what to do in a situation such as just a basic life support class can be very helpful.
That's a good point. And we do want to talk about that goal. I know you said it was ambitious, but I think we can completely do it. $10,000. Again, remind everyone watching today, getting ready to donate, why $10,000 is so significant to you.
$10,000. I just celebrated my 10th anniversary. So my baby Logan just turned 10 years old, and we thought that that would be a great benchmark and a great place to start for the American Heart Association.
I think it is, and we just showed the thermometer here for people who are with us watching today. You may see some names that you recognize. If you do donate, you'll see your name scrolling on the screen right now. So we're really close to $3,000. Oh, just jumped right there to $3,000, hoping to reach $10,000. Even if the luncheon ends and you haven't donated yet, you still have time. There is always time to donate as we get closer and closer to 3,000. But we have that goal of 10,000 that I know we can do. Amanda Rand, Amy Beveridge, that's a name that I know pretty well, and Matt Earl right there. Thank you to everyone that's donating. And if you see your name up there, pat yourself on the back, because every donation means so much to make progress and to continue to support the American Heart Association. Well, time now for the introduction of our two Crystal Heart honorees, Robin Hodgkin, past Go Red for Women Luncheon Chair and Senior Vice President, Family Wealth Director at Morgan Stanley, and Rich Peterson, President of Maine Health and the CEO of Maine Medical Center.
Undaunted,
thoughtful,
industrious,
positive,
wise,
strategic,
gregarious.
Robin is one woman who can get stuff done.
Robin doesn't want to do something for the sake of doing it. She wants to make sure that it is well thought out and that the result is meaningful and it makes a difference or has an impact.
I think of Robin as someone who lifts up other women. So she's not only supportive and collaborative, she really puts herself in a position to lift up and promote other women.
So she's particularly concerned about the investment of time and resources that will make a difference. And she encourages others to ask tough questions, to use their voices, and wants each person to grow personally and professionally through the process, of course, with the organization benefiting from everyone's collaboration.
She is someone who I think is a great role model. She gives of herself endlessly and tirelessly, and she is an amazing woman who just makes all of us better. And it's really wonderful to see her honored in this way.
Robin's impact on my life, her family, my family has been huge. An element of glue in my lifetime. She's always there, good times, bad times.
I have been most impressed with Robin's thoughtful and compassionate leadership style. She is a genuine person who cares deeply about her work and her community and her family. And I've noticed that she really invests time to get to know an organization or whatever she's involved in before making recommendations. She's respectful of others. She asks very good and direct questions, which I think is the hallmark of a great leader, someone who's not afraid to push back.
I remember thinking that she seemed so sophisticated and polished and professional and in charge, and at the same time really warm and inviting and friendly. And I just thought that was a really interesting combination of traits, and I really looked up to her right from the beginning.
Thinking about Robin and receiving an award from the American Heart Association, it's just almost a metaphor for who she is, because she's such a big-hearted person. And I know that that sounds so trite and maybe cliche, but it's absolutely true.
She brings joy to everything she does.
I am honored and humbled to receive the Crystal Heart Award along with Rich Peterson of Maine Health. I became involved with the American Heart Association in 2017 when Melissa Smith of WEX asked me to chair the Go Red for Women luncheon. I was very moved as I had lost both of my grandfathers and my father to heart disease. What I didn't know is that heart disease is the #1 killer of both men and women. More recently, my friend and colleague, Julie, aged 32 while pregnant, experienced symptoms of heart attack. It was her attendance at the Go Red luncheon that made her aware of her need to act fast. Heart disease does not discriminate on gender, race, or age. As a long-time champion for women of all ages, it has become crystal clear to me that we need to speak up in voices that are loud enough to be heard. I'm inspired by how the community comes together to support Go Red every year, and we can count on men and women to get behind the importance of pushing back on heart disease in women. The Heart Association is focused on building healthy lives, and I have become inspired to listen to my body and take greater care of my own physical health, focusing on eating a heart-healthy diet and fitness. This organization makes a huge difference in Maine. I am so honored to be the recipient of the Crystal Heart Award. Thank you.
I can't think of anyone that is kinder at the heart level and willing to do anything for anyone.
Caring.
I found him down to earth,
energetic, friendly,
and extremely approachable.
Integrity is kind of his core strength, and I think it's his driver.
I also wondered, why did he come to Maine? But now I'm sure glad that he had. He's a great asset for our state.
I've known Rich for over 25 years, so Rich has been obviously an important leader in our community, has been for years. If I were to describe it in one word, I would probably say inclusive.
For a number of years, he led Maine Medical Center during a very exciting time of growth and recognition for the medical center.
His connection with the people that he worked with on a day, still does work with on a daily basis, was so personal. That engagement was so important to him.
Rich leads by getting to know individuals and finding what really drives them from a passion standpoint.
He knew your kids' names, he knew what was going on in your personal life.
Rich is very easy to work with. He asks a lot of questions, and most importantly, Rich listens. He likes to listen and gather the information and then make his decisions.
That's what I want to be. That's what I envision to be great leadership. When people look to you as not only their leader but someone that's trusted and is interested in their life. I think it's a remarkable trait, and that's Rich. Take a look at Rich when he was young, obviously, and I think what is undeniable is that smile and that familiar hairline, which I think we all recognize today. So I think there was a Sadie Hawkins or some kind of dance, and I think Jane, his wife, walked into the room, and I think somebody snapped a photograph just as that was happening. So that's his look of bewilderment and wonder. So everybody realizes how busy Rich has been, and we haven't seen much of him because of that, working, long hours, but they did catch a glimpse of him. They got a picture of him at the last Buffalo Bills game. Obviously, this was right before the last game because he had something to cheer about. But
when I think of the Crystal Heart Award, I immediately think of Rich Peterson. You have to have a big heart in order to be a recipient of the Crystal Heart Award, and I can think of nobody in this community that has a bigger heart than Rich Peterson.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here at this luncheon. Thank you to the American Heart Association for the Crystal Heart Award I'm holding in front of me. It's a beautiful recognition. Thank you very much. I'd also like to congratulate Robin on also being recognized this year. While I'm giving thank you for those that served in the video that you recently saw, Lisa Gorman, Bill Karen, and my friend Chris Emmons. All of you are very special people, not only to me, but to the state of Maine. Heart disease is very personal to me. My father came down with the disease early on in his life. Unfortunately, because of great care and because of the support of the American Heart Association, he lived a long life. But what we're here today is talking about disease in women, heart disease in women. And it's the leading cause of death in women today, and we have to take this very seriously. For me personally, with a mother of 91, a wife, a daughter, and a 6-month-old grandchild, it's right in front of me day in and day out. So continue to do the great work, American Heart Association. Continue to support the American Heart Association, and God bless everybody.
Congratulations again to Rich and Robin, and thank you to Cross Insurance for sponsoring this year's Crystal Heart Awards. We want to check in on the thermometer again this afternoon, and thank you for everyone that's donated so far. So when we last checked, we were close to 3,000. We are now at 6,647. We are getting closer to that 10,000 goal, and we want to thank everyone again who has donated. We can see Christine Powell, Amanda Rand, thank you, Matthew Harmon, everyone that has donated so far, thank you. Remember, any donation that you put in, it doesn't matter how big or how small, because it all adds up to that total, and I know that we can reach that today. Before we start our special panel discussion this afternoon, we want to thank Amanda Rand again for her leadership of this campaign, and we also want to make a special announcement. Joan Smith of Baker Newman Noyes has graciously accepted the role of chair for the 2022 Go Red for Women Luncheon. Thank you to both of these amazing women and all of the volunteers who make this great event happen year after year. Our panel discussion is next, and to help introduce that, here is heart survivor Julie Braun of Morgan Stanley.
Hey everyone, I'm Julie Braun from Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is the proud sponsor of today's panel discussion to help educate women about heart disease, especially those in their 20s and 30s. Why is it so important? At 32, I was a wife, a mom to a 2-year-old, working full-time, and 25 weeks pregnant. Having a heart attack was the last thing on my mind. I began to have chest and neck pain and immediately thought something was wrong with my pregnancy. Luckily, I had just attended a Go Red luncheon where I learned the signs and symptoms of a heart attack, which were similar to how I felt. Being so young, I would normally be dismissive, but something urged me to go to the hospital where it was confirmed I was having a heart attack. I share my story to help save other young women. Don't disregard what your body is telling you, and take quick action by calling 911 if you think you're having a heart attack. After today's event, please encourage a conversation about the Go Red mission with family, coworkers, clients, and neighbors. We need to educate to help save more lives. Thank you, and please enjoy today's panel discussion.
What a year for all physicians dealing with the pandemic, telemedicine, and working with patients in an entirely new way. Today, we have 3 doctors providing input for women and cardiovascular disease. We're talking to Dr. Lisa Thomas, a cardiologist with Maine Medical Partners, Dr. Rebecca Hemphill, internal medicine physician with Maine Medical Partners, and Dr. Nadi Kawanga, a resident in OBGYN at Maine Medical Center. Thank you for not only being part of this year's Go Red for Women panel discussion, but for being our frontline heroes helping all Mainers this past year. A recent study released by the American Heart Association indicated that women in their 20s and 30s, Gen Xers and millennials, are less aware that heart disease is the #1 health threat that they face, and heart disease is the leading cause of death both during and after pregnancy. Throughout today's program, we've heard from several women who have encountered heart disease or stroke during or soon after their pregnancies. So Dr. Kawanga, the first question for you, as an OBGYN, what should women be aware of during their pregnancy that could put them at risk for a heart attack or stroke? What are some distressing signs that they should be on the lookout for?
Sure. I'd actually like to start, I think, pregnancy health and well-being starts before you even become pregnant. And so if a woman is thinking about becoming pregnant, she should definitely let her doctor know, whether that's her primary care provider or her OBGYN. Things that we like to know as OBGYNs, especially as it impacts pregnancy and heart health during pregnancy, is if you have a family history or even a personal history of heart disease. That can be high blood pressure or any other things. Kidney disease or diabetes, because what we're finding is women with diabetes, especially before they're pregnant, have an increased risk of having high blood pressure issues during their pregnancy, especially as they move towards the 3rd trimester. The other risk factors include being obese or overweight, advanced maternal age as well. And then signs to be aware of, danger signs that we counsel all women on is if you have any headaches that don't go away with rest or Tylenol or hydration, if you have vision changes that, again, don't go away with rest, hydration, hearing changes, almost sounding like there's either a ringing or an echo or muffled sounds, and it's constant. And then also right upper quadrant abdominal pain that, again, is constant. So those are signs that we consider danger signs for the progression of pregnancy-induced hypertension, including things that maybe some viewers have heard of preeclampsia or progression towards eclampsia. Additionally, if you have significantly increased swelling, sometimes to the point of where you no longer look like yourself, that is also a worrisome sign.
And Dr. Thomas, the numbers are alarming of how many young women do not even know or think about cardiovascular disease. Specifically, in that recent study, many are not aware of warning signs in women. So as a cardiologist, what do you want these young women to know?
Hi, Kathleen. I think a high awareness that cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death among women is critical to prevention. In 2018, 400,000 deaths, which is 28% of deaths in women, were due to cardiovascular disease. And I think a really concerning trend is that the proportion of young women, 35 to 55 years of age, having acute heart attack has steadily risen over the last 2 decades. So young women are having cardiac events. What I would like women to know is the typical warning symptoms of coronary heart disease. The most common symptom in both women and men is chest discomfort. And that's often described as a heaviness, a tightness, squeezing that may radiate to the left arm. However, women are also more likely to have other symptoms. And those symptoms include mid-back pain between the scapula, throat, neck, jaw discomfort, heartburn, nausea, or even shortness of breath, with or without chest pain. I think, too, another important point is that while we think of heart pain typically being precipitated by exertion, many women will have chest pain that is brought on by emotional stress, or it may even awaken them from sleep. So I think women need to be aware that this whole constellation of symptoms may represent a heart problem, and they should present for evaluation promptly.
Thank you, Doctor. And Dr. Hemphill, the AHA encourages women of all ages to visit their primary doctor at least once a year. So what message would you give to Gen X and millennials who don't think it's a priority to visit or even talk to their primary care doctor?
Thank you, Kathleen, for having me. There are a number of reasons why having and seeing a primary care doctor regularly is important. While younger people generally don't consider themselves at risk for disease, it's really important to establish a relationship with a doctor so that as things come up, you know the person you're seeing and feel comfortable with them. There's always a focus on preventive medicine when you're seeing your primary care doctor, and the purpose there is to identify risk factors that can place you at increased risk for conditions down the road, including taking a careful family history, checking blood pressure and cholesterol, screening for smoking and substance use, assessing risk for diabetes, and screening for depression are examples. It's also an important opportunity to discuss important lifestyle recommendations such as good nutrition and regular exercise. Studies have demonstrated that patients who see their primary care doctor regularly are more likely to be up to date on preventive care, including recommended immunizations, cancer screening, and those that do have chronic conditions such as diabetes and high blood pressure have their conditions better controlled and have better outcomes.
Thank you, Doctor. And Dr. Kawanga, going back to you, are there certain risk factors that women need to better address in their lives, especially when we talk about pregnant women?
Absolutely. As I previously mentioned, before you become pregnant, coming into care, things that are helpful to know before you become pregnant, or if you have like high blood pressure issues, or if you have diabetes, we'd want to be able to optimize certain health conditions to help either better control your blood pressures during pregnancy, but to also reduce the risk of having poor maternal or poor fetal outcomes as well. So there's certain things that we can do to try and reduce those risks, including things like giving aspirin throughout the pregnancy to hopefully prevent the development of preeclampsia, which is a severe blood pressure issue or cardiovascular issue really during pregnancy. I think the other thing that I had mentioned as well is thinking about weight. That is one of the risk factors. And so how can we optimize that to ensure that you're healthy going into your pregnancy and remain healthy throughout it, not only for moms, but also for the babies, because at the end of the day, the safe goal is safe mom, safe baby.
Thank you, Doctor. And Dr. Thomas, this question actually from an attendee. My family survived COVID-19, including my 28-year-old. I'm hearing a lot about lasting cardiac issues, people who are on blood thinners, and et cetera. What do we need to be aware of or keep an eye out when it comes to our heart health?
Yeah, so COVID-19 has been a devastating problem. Most patients present with symptoms of a respiratory infection, lung infection, but we now know that cardiac involvement is fairly common. About 20 to 30% of patients that are hospitalized have heart involvement. And while some of these people may present with an acute heart attack or heart failure, some people have really no obvious cardiac symptoms. So it's unclear whether we should be screening all patients for heart damage as part of routine follow-up in COVID-19 patients. Before the recommendation is made for routine heart testing, we will need further studies to try to identify what are the risk factors for people developing cardiac involvement, what is the frequency of cardiac involvement in patients who were not sick enough to be admitted to the hospital. Currently, the recommendation is that you consult your physician if you experience increasing or extreme shortness of breath with exertion, chest pain, if you notice swelling in your ankles, if you have irregular heartbeats, if you're noticing shortness of breath when you lay flat, or you're being awoken from sleep with shortness of breath, And even if you're having very marked dizzy spells, these are all symptoms which should prompt you to present for evaluation. I think that our recommendations over time will be continually updated as we learn more about COVID-19. In terms of blood thinners, people who are hospitalized with COVID-19 are treated with blood thinners because their risk of blood clotting is higher. In patients who are not hospitalized or who have been discharged from the hospital, it is not standard for them to receive blood thinners because the risk of blood clotting in those two groups is lower. I will say that if a patient during hospitalization receives a stent to a coronary artery, or they have a documented blood clot, or they had an irregular heart rhythm that may require blood thinners, they may be discharged on blood thinners, but they are a smaller number of people.
Thank you. And Dr. Hemphill, as a primary care doctor, what conversations should young women have with their primary care doctors, specifically talking about maybe their family history and those risk factors that we need to look out for?
So I mentioned before the importance of taking a careful family history. In addition to understanding a patient's family history of cancer, which I think has gotten a lot of attention, it's extremely important to understand that family history of high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke are also extremely important. Not only should women understand who in their family had what condition, it is also helpful to know at what age one's family member developed that condition. A family history of early onset heart disease, which is defined as before age 55 in men and before age 65 in women, is important to understand as it increases the risk in family members. Understanding family history of high cholesterol is also really important to identify, in that it can have a significant impact on heart disease and stroke risk. So once those risk factors are identified, it's really important to focus on those factors that are under your control. You can't change your family history, but there is a lot that women can do to reduce their own risk, such as stopping smoking, getting regular exercise, controlling their blood pressure if it is elevated, controlling their blood sugar if they have diabetes, and eating a healthy diet.
And special thanks again to our physician panel for their valuable expertise and their insights. And we want to say thank you to all of you who have attended today's Go Red for Women luncheon. Thank you for every donation that you have made. I know it has been a hard year, and every donation will go a long way. I hope that whatever you have learned today, you will share with your loved ones. Continue to spread those messages so we can all educate ourselves on our risk for heart disease and stroke. I'm Kathleen Jordan, and for all of us at Channel 8 WMTW, and for the staff and volunteers here at the American Heart Association in Maine, a heartfelt thank you for all of you who are watching, for your time, your dedication, and your passion. So here's to you wherever you are, and here's to hoping next year we see you in person. Have a great day.